first thing you do is play football. My dad was an ex-goalkeeper in the Irish League, so I wanted to follow in his footsteps.
Every kid has dreamed of becoming a professional footballer, and my dream was to go and play for Manchester United. Growing up, I think a lot of the time people think it's almost mission impossible, and certainly felt like that.
For Northern Ireland, footballing success has felt like achieving mission impossible. This corner of the United Kingdom has not been represented at a major championship for 30 years. But now the wait is over, after qualification for June's European Championship in France.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of probably the biggest achievement of any of the players' careers. So, I mean, I still don't think it's properly sunk in yet, and I don't think that will happen until we get to the tournament, get settled in our base camp, and then I think that's when the fun starts to begin.
It's a massive thing for the country. Since it's happened, everyone's been talking about who's going to be going, and I think basically the whole country wants to come and support us.
That was, something I don't think I'd ever experienced in football, and there was a sense of, obviously, euphoria, obviously, but there was a sense of relief as well.
Not even the legendary George Best, Northern Ireland's greatest ever player, could inspire them to a major tournament. Their last involvement on the big stage came at the FIFA World Cups of 1986 and 1982.
There's a whole generation of people in Northern Ireland that have grown up, have never seen a Northern Ireland team be in a major finals. I mean, the reaction's been huge, really, in terms of just the sense of excitement, I think. When you look back to 82 and 86, and they were fantastic times, and that was a great side, particularly the side of 82.
The high point of that 82 campaign was a memorable night in Valencia, when hosts Spain were beaten by a Jerry Armstrong goal. Michael O'Neill, who also represented Northern Ireland as a player, will never forget it.
82, I was, I think, 12 years of age. I just remember all of the games, to be honest. The Jerry Armstrong goal, how the team outperformed, really. I was actually sitting just in the front room in my house, in my parents' house, watching the game. I remember it so well because I remember shortly afterwards, Mal Donaghy was sent off, and nerve-wracking watching the game, and Northern Ireland a man down, and obviously the significance of a win, and the performance of Pat Jennings on the night, and the whole team in terms of how they defend it. It was just magical to see, and I think Northern Ireland just, came to a standstill at that point. There was a lot of, obviously, difficult times in Northern Ireland at that time as well, so it was lovely to see the focus directed on something that was so positive, and that team of 82, they're legendary, they're icons, and they're still recognised to this day.
Yeah, you hear about it growing up. You see little clips on TV, and Jerry Armstrong's done a lot of stuff on the media side of it, so you get to know his name and know what they achieved back then.
In Mexico, the class of 86 weren't quite able to replicate the heights of 4 years earlier.
I remember the game against Brazil well, Pat's last game, and the brilliant Brazilian team, of that time, and it was just, again, great to see Northern Ireland players. So it was probably a more difficult World Cup in those days to go to Mexico and deal with it, and I know they didn't perform as well maybe in the finals as the team of 82, but they're rightly remembered as well because there's only, other than 58, those are the only occasions we've been to a major tournament.
For all today's excitement, the new generation know the Euros will be tough. They're bracing themselves for a group containing Poland, Ukraine, and world champions Germany.
Our first game is against Poland, who have obviously, everyone's talking about Lewandowski at the minute and how well he's doing, and he's going to be one of the big names of the tournament. Everyone will be wanting to see how well he does.
Ukraine regularly they qualify for World Cups and the Euro, so it's going to be no different with them. And finally, we got the world champions, so it's not a bad thing to be worried about. We want to look forward to playing against the best teams, and Germany the best team in the world at the minute, so we can all look forward to that game.
The way we play, we do seem to do well against big teams. We would go in as the underdog, and I think our fighting spirit has always helped us in that sense.
Whatever happens, one thing is certain: there will be plenty of green in France this summer.
But one thing that always stood out was our supporters, and the way they followed us, and it was quite amazing, really. And I think that's one thing that's always given players a great sense of pride, you know, going away to all over Europe, all over the world following us, and even if we win, lose or draw, you know, they're always, you know, singing and giving us great support.
You know, for years, even when things weren't going so well, the fans have, you know, followed us home and away. So to give them a little something back as well is going to be nice, and you know, I'm sure everyone's going to travel on their thousands and enjoy the whole experience.
I think the accessibility of the tournament means that you'll have quite a few supporters that will travel regardless of whether they have a ticket or not. So there'll be a huge travel and support there, and as I say, I'm sure they'll bring a lot to the tournament.